Hi, I'm Stephen Atkinson. I'm Program Director of the Bachelor of Contemporary Art at the University of South Australia. I've been working at UniSA since about 2003 in a number of areas. Been teaching in the contemporary art area since about 2016. I've always been passionate about contemporary art, and since I was young I always fancied myself as an artist and went to art school. And the experience, although I went on to do a whole range of things following my studies there, it's always been something that I've treasured, valued in that time at art school. And I love teaching contemporary art for that reason. The aim, first and foremost, is to teach people how to be artists. But there was a book that came out a few years ago, a popular bestseller called How to Think Like an Artist, because there's an appreciation of the sorts of skills that artists have that can be applied in all sorts of other areas of employment and life. The Bachelor of Contemporary Art is 3 years full-time. Obviously there are part-time options for that as well. You can also study the Bachelor of Contemporary Art as part of a Masters of Teaching pathway with the addition of a second learning area. It's primarily studio focused here in the purpose-built studios at City West campus of UniSA. There are, in addition to studio courses, we have theory and history units that are a compulsory part of the course, and other areas around creativity and critical thinking. Some parts of the program are also available online to increase the flexibility of the course for students. A key feature of the Bachelor of Contemporary Art is that we introduce you to a whole range of studio areas and mediums. We have studies in sculpture, in painting, in printmaking, in photography, in drawing, in jewellery, in ceramics and glass, textiles, and students also make work outside of those studio areas in video and sonic arts, for example. So the main aim of it is to actually introduce students to some of that range of things that contemporary art can consist of. The program also benefits from a very close relationship with the Samstag Museum of Art, and we have other gallery spaces that students are encouraged to explore and to set up exhibitions in. In the final year of the degree, we set up the graduate show, and that's when judging occurs for the Helpman Academy and a number of other award givers to offer scholarships and residencies and prizes along the way. We receive a lot of questions from prospective students about the Bachelor of Contemporary Art. Let me try and answer some of them now. The Bachelor of Arts is focused on humanities subjects like English and history and philosophy and social sciences, psychology, sociology off the top of my head. Whereas the Bachelor of Contemporary Art is focused especially on making or in finding other sorts of responses to material problems. So students will be asked to write essays. That's another question I get occasionally. Do I have to write essays? Yes, is the unfortunate answer to those students. But it is focused especially on studio practice, on learning how to think with your hands effectively, and on those sorts of skills. And it often suits students who perhaps haven't been so well served in high schools, because it's another way of teaching and learning. Why should I go to uni when I already love painting and know that I'm good at it? Well, it's not a question. This is not a question I get a lot, but I suspect is one that lurks in a lot of students and prospective students' heads. The technical skill is just one part of what makes a successful artist. The real thing is the strength of your ideas, and that's what we try to get across in the program. How to generate and develop ideas and how to run with those. And once you have an understanding that the idea is the really important thing, it doesn't matter in a way what medium you use. If you've had an introduction to glass and ceramics and printmaking and a range of other sorts of mediums, then they are often the things that you tend to gravitate to. What are the career outcomes, and can I make a living being an artist? Yes, you can make a living being an artist. Sometimes it takes a lot of hard work. It takes things like networking. It takes some sort of resilience, and they're the things that we also try to get across in the Bachelor of Contemporary Art program. How to manage those things, how to manage a gallery space, how to set up an exhibition, how to write a grant proposal, all the things that artists starting out need to know and need to be across. I'm also committed to the idea that the things you learn in an art school are applicable in all sorts of other avenues. Will I be creating all day? Yes, to a large extent you will be spending your days creating. You'll have access to studios and workshops, and you'll be able to acquire the skills to use all sorts of equipment and facilities safely. So you can do as much creating as you can squeeze into, every day of the week. You will sometimes have to write an essay. You will sometimes have to do some reading and some research. Those skills are a crucial part of the program. They're not just there to annoy people who want to make all day. They're there to help you make better and to think better about the sorts of things that you're wanting to make. Once you've completed the Bachelor of Contemporary Art, the 3 years of the degree, you can go on and do a year of honours or 2 years part-time of honours, which will also open up other possibilities for further study. You can go on to do a Masters of Design, and you can also choose to do a Masters of Teaching pathway. If you have any other questions about the Bachelor of Contemporary Art or want any more information about studying at the University of South Australia, please get in touch. We look forward to seeing you on campus.